Hey friends, I hope you're well on this chilly Saturday morning. Um, Life is feeling like it's evening out, and the words that keep coming up for me are divine timing, big time. Everything in divine timing. We can get ahead of ourselves so many times, thinking that we need to plan this and that and whatever for our lives, and that we know that our human brain knows what's best for us. And a lot of times that's not the case. A lot of times that's not the case at all. A lot of times that's the ego getting scared and jumping in and trying to shift us out of transformation, out of evolution. As I was driving to my book club the other night, which this month is the High Five Habit by Mel Robbins, and I am really enjoying Mel Robbins. She is she comes across, so I don't know her personally, obviously, but to me, she comes across as a really authentic, real person. And I can align with that because that is what I strive to be in my life. Life is not perfect in any way, but it is perfectly mine, just like it's perfectly yours. And I'm really enjoying her books. I'm really enjoying her videos and messages where she really just shares from her heart. And really and truly, if we all drop down into our hearts from our human brain, think of how fabulous the world would be. It would just flow beautifully. We wouldn't be overthinking the past, which can pull us into depression. We wouldn't be worrying about and fearful of the future, which can pull us into anxiety. Neither of those feelings feel good. It's the here and now moment. So I had an experience the other evening on my way to book club. And for me, I get the most universal spirit downloads in the shower. I'm really connected to water. And when I'm driving, a lot of times I will switch off, especially if I'm obviously if I'm alone, I switch off the not obvious. Why did I just say that? It's not obvious if I'm alone. There's times I switch off the radio and the music if I'm with people. I switch off the news on the radio. There's some stuff, yes, we need to know about, and there's other stuff we don't. We don't need a ton of negativity in our life. Yes, we need the realness. Yes, we need the reality. But we don't need all the propaganda stuff that comes with the news. So just had to correct myself there. Anyway, as I was driving over, when I'm driving a lot of times and in the shower, that's when I get a lot. God winks, God nudges, spirit messages, and it's really tuning into my heart. It's no different for anyone else. I mean, you may tune in differently, obviously, but however you tune in, it's just hearing those messages, whatever they are. And what was interesting to me is as I was driving and all the things that were coming up, I was thinking about being a mom. And that evening that day I actually had not a challenging mom moment. It wasn't challenging, but it was pushing me beyond my limits, but not in a bad way at all. It was not in a bad way at all. And I leaned into it because it's easy to say, I'm the parent, I know what's best, which obviously as the parent, we do want to direct our children on the best path of their life. But each and every step is not up to us at all. We're here to raise them, direct them, but we can't make every single decision. And that's where the empowering comes in. That's where we can truly pass that level of empowerment onto our children, truly, in whatever situation. And that's where it feels good to know that in whatever situation either my kids could be in, that you got to always trust yourself first. And really and truly, that's how I've been leading my own life. And that's how I want to model that for my kids. And so what I found interesting is as I was driving and getting all these downloads and all these God winks, and it was like, this makes sense. This makes sense. And then I got to the book club. And this is where it was really cool, because there's no coincidences in life. There's none. No coincidences. Everything does happen for a reason. And as shitty as that can feel sometimes, because obviously I've had bad things happen in my life, our souls have a plan, and we have to get back on that plan. And sometimes it can be fucking drastic. And sometimes it hurts like hell. And sometimes it feels overwhelming and unknown, and it can feel fearful. And that's where we have to drop into trust. But obviously, as humans, in this human experience, it can feel challenging at times. The fight or flight, I've really noticed since my husband's accident, I can feel when my body is starting to go into, I was never diagnosed with PTSD. I never pursued that. I truly feel, for me, I can support myself best by going within. And I've been doing a lot of spiritual healing work, which is so fucking freeing for our physical bodies too. So for me, this is what works for me. Getting in alignment, getting in truth, and trusting that things unfold as they're meant to. That doesn't mean we don't feel it. You need to feel it. You need to feel all of it. Even the really shitty, like, I want to punch something, I just want to scream, I want to cry. Buy a punching bag. Get a pillow. You don't have to buy anything. Get a pillow. Scream in your car. If you're alone at home, scream. Cry. Let the tears flow. Over the past 3 years, I have found a strength within that if a feeling hits me, even if I'm at work, just let it flow. Obviously, I'm not going to scream, kick, and yell. That has not happened in a very long time. But it's just allowing yourself the freedom to feel. How freeing is that? For me, that's so fucking freeing. It's incredibly freeing because it's allowing yourself to feel, to heal. What we don't properly feel, what we don't properly process, it can go within. It can become trapped within our body. I've experienced it multiple times. And then we get physical pain, physical hurt, and it can feel even harder to shift. So I've talked about it, about injuring my shoulder. And the reason I'm bringing it up, shoulder, collarbone, like this area of my body. And the reason I'm bringing it up today is I kept getting these God nudges that I need to start moving my body again. And I need to allow that fear, because it is a fear, on 2 levels. There's 2 levels to the fear. The first level is the last time I started. Oh, here it comes. The last time I started, we couldn't trust the medical system. We couldn't trust a doctor's word. My husband was in constant pain. It felt fucking heavy on me. Very heavy. Because I felt like I had to carry it. He was in pain. obviously I can't put extra stress or extra responsibility on him. It just felt so heavy, so heavy. And all of that, although I've been working through much of that, I developed this pain within my shoulder, like this area of my body here. And until recently, working with myself, with, trying to, like, it felt tight. It felt, this is where I was feeling the pain, all within here. So I knew something had to shift, something had to move. So I've been doing a lot of spiritual work, which for me aligns incredibly. Whatever works for you, everyone is different. For me, that aligned with me beautifully, because it was tying to get, no, it is. I'm still working with this. It ties beautifully to our physical, emotional, mental, spiritual worlds. They're all tied together. And the more we can bring that alignment within ourselves, the more freeing it is. So I rejoined an exercise program. The God nudges that I was getting was, it's time. Yes, we have a weights set downstairs, like a total gym type set. We've got some other free weights and stuff. I've got yoga stuff. I have my treadmill. But I was really feeling that pull to a community, especially when you're healing. When you're healing, whether it's emotional or physical, community is so important. And that's one thing I had with my oils. I still have. And I love everyone that I've met. I love the way when I lean into my body and lean into me, it tells me exactly what I need. And a lot of the times it's simple. It's simple. Like my back was, so here's a connection. So I rejoined Beachbody. The day I rejoined, the SI joint pain started to come back. Everything has been looser up here. I was working with a masseuse and also with myself, and just, it was muscle flossing and, is it muscle or nerve flossing? Something, it's both of those. And over the past month especially, there's been a lot coming up that I've been clearing and feeling. So I found it interesting yesterday because, well, I guess I joined Thursday night, so that makes sense. So I get up yesterday and like just got up and, getting ready. And all of a sudden I went to turn or something. It was like, oh, it was like my SI joint was like, hello. Remember the last time? Remember the last time how much pain you were in and you couldn't move? Remember that? Remember the stress you were under? Remember the overwhelm you felt? Remember the shit you were dealing with? All came up. I allowed myself to sit with it. I allowed myself to sit with, still sitting with. It's a work in progress always. And that's cool. To just let it flow. So that's my message today. Just let it flow. Feel what you need to. Feel to heal. It's exactly, whatever it is, it's exactly what you need in your life at this time. So allow yourself that permission. Allow yourself the grace and love.